I'm going to just run through a bunch of CONCACAF teams, and I want you to just say good or bad. And if you want to explain, go ahead. In terms of future, Curacao.
That's actually one of the few countries you could have said that I have almost no opinion on. I thought they looked good at the Gold Cup. I thought they looked much better than I was expecting. But, again, kind of reliant on overseas players. Probably similar situation to Suriname. I just hear even less about them. I don't ever hear anything about Curacao outside of the Bakuna Bros. So
yeah, well, you can't forget Dig Advocate just extended. So Dig Extends was a big headline here for Curacao. That's a big deal. Yes.
Okay. Well, in that case, didn't he extend it for just a year though? Right.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was.
Okay.
I threw World Cup qualifiers or whatever. Yeah.
I would say slightly positive because their group is ass to qualify for the World Cup, and they could actually win it.
Curacao in the 2026 World Cup will be like not funny, just like that. Like no one said that even a month ago.
That's a dub for CONCACAF. I don't care what anybody
without
says.
A doubt.
That's a dub.
Without a doubt. I mean, the more teams, the more different teams in the World Cup for CONCACAF, the better. Which is obviously it's going to be 100% no matter what because USA, Mexico, Canada are already in there. I want Panama, Costa Rica in there, but intercontinental playoff. I just want the most random teams playing against the most random other teams. It's I love the World Cup. Okay, another team, El Salvador.
Down.
Yeah, I see like
the worst team at the Gold Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an LAFC fan, right? So I like Nathan Ordaz. I have the signed card right here. Actually, funny enough, and that's about it. Like that's all I can see El Salvador handling, and maybe Brian Hill, but that's
No, really he's not a good footballer. I'm sorry, he's quite mid. They haven't gotten better now for 4 years. That's what's starting to get concerning. Is they appear stuck.
Yeah, they are stuck. They are stuck without a doubt. Trinidad and Tobago.
I'm laughing because Trinidad fans are always in my comments telling me that they're good. I mean, Dante Seeley scored a good goal at the Gold Cup. That was pretty cool.
There you go. That's awesome.
Levi Garcia is still Levi Garcia. Probably not as good as he used to be. I would say also similar to Curacao. I'd put them on that maybe trending 5% up. Also able to tap into that overseas diaspora. In terms of development, ain't a damn thing happening there. They really got to improve that team, man. The defense is terrible, and so is the midfield.
Yeah, with that, I think they have the tools. They have the foundation to have a really good growth over the next few years. Will it happen?
What is the foundation?
Manager. First of all, I really enjoyed Dwight York being there. I think they have good, like you said, pieces to pull from. It's just a matter of getting that team right. And I think in CONCACAF, a unit goes farther than many think, right? Like Guatemala have a unit, a together squad. You really compare that with Jamaica again. Jamaica has the talent, the technique. Does it matter? No. Are they one cohesive squad? No. They play the same 11 every time. Still no. Things like that. I think Trinidad, have the tools to get a really good squad foundation underneath them and then build off that. So I think I do look on it with a positive outlook. Will I put money down on it? No, absolutely not. Okay. But it could be a good bet.
That was all I needed to hear.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I got 3 more here for you. Okay. I think it's going to be pretty positive. Dominican Republic.
I mean, it has to be positive, if nothing else, for the fact that nobody mentioned the Dominican Republic football team 18 months ago.
Yeah, I think we might be a little different just because I think we follow the way more niche international accounts on Twitter or whatnot. So I see the one-off switch that a player made or whatever. But other than that, even then, no, you heard nothing, nothing from that team.
They're basically like a new character that just spawned in a video game. They can only level.
There you go. Okay, I like that. Yeah, first Gold Cup, and they didn't look bad. I thought they had a very positive Gold Cup. 1 point, but could have argued they would have gotten more. Should have gotten more.
Probably should have got something against Costa Rica. Could have gotten something against Mexico. I mean, Mexico was hanging on at the end.
That was a great game to watch. As a non-Mexico fan, as a neutral for that match, that was a great game to watch. I really did enjoy that. Okay, then last 2. Speaking of Mexico.
I do think it's positive. I would say the future is bright. I think we're seeing Elias Montiel, Mora, who I mentioned earlier, Marcel Ruiz, still 24 years old. Mm-hmm. Most of our most of our best players, with the exception of Raul Jimenez, are in
Mhm.
their like mid 20s or earlier.
Yeah.
That is going to be the one to replace. And of course, some will say Santi Jimenez, but we ain't seen a damn thing for the national team. But if Santi Jimenez can replicate what Raul, and Raul wasn't always great for Mexico, like he took a long time to
Oh,
kind of develop.
yeah.
So I'm not jumping off the Santi wagon here. But if he can be as good as Raul was for Mexico, then the future's hands down bright. If Santi never materializes and he just becomes one of these guys who can't do it for the national team, I still think it's bright, just not as much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was funny. We talked about it the other day on the channel, but we were like growing up, the defense was always the worst part of that Mexico team, like by far.
Mm.
They never
Yeah.
had a good enough defense to match that midfield and attack. And now you can say it's completely flipped, completely.
Yeah.
Like
The
on
center
paper, the attack
backs were
should be really
usually
good.
pretty mid. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like very, very like fullbacks were fine for the
Very
most
mid.
part, but center backs were always like the part to let down that entire team. So it's really funny how that's probably the most stable part right now of the entire team. I love that, and I think
Yeah.
Mexico is positive as soon like obviously we don't know much, but just the fact that Rafa Marquez is going to be the manager like has to be exciting for everybody involved. Everybody, like players who want chances, the fans, the federation, everybody should be excited for that, and that should only lead to good things as long as they can get Gallardo out of there as soon as possible. And it's looking like Mateo
Mhm.
Chavez is probably going to be the starter in the World Cup, which I like a lot. And I'm not sure if you've watched our videos on the channel for this one, Jack, but I have a personal bias, a personal hatred for Jorge Sanchez and Charlie Rodriguez, as many do. But as
Yeah,
soon
I
as we
hate
can
Jorge
get them out of the
Sanchez.
fold, Jorge Sanchez is dog shit, bro.
He's
Dog shit.
so bad. He's just
I just,
athletic. That's it.
yeah. And you know what? For Cruz Azul, he isn't even that bad. But when it comes to the Mexican national team, I just, ugh. So as soon as like the sooner they get those people out and they get like the true starters in front of them instead, I think it's gonna look really good. Which they already have. Like I said, Mateo Chavez. You have Huescas. You know, as soon as he once he learns how to drive, it's gonna look really good
Mhm.
for the Mexican national team. And then
Yeah.
Charlie just should have been out years ago. But you know, everything's
Yeah.
looking really good. So there's no way you can look at it negatively. The only negative thing I would say is I wish I feel like they could have gotten there just a bit sooner. Like there's still a little bit too many questions right now for my liking. You're ahead of the World Cup. I thought they would have remedied it by now, but that's what happens when you have Jimmy Lozano as your manager, for at least for a little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
then last one. Their southern rivals, USA. What does USA's future look like to you?
I think we're at the point with the United States where their floor has risen so much
Yeah,
that I just don't see a time really moving forward where the United States is not going to be a top 3 team in CONCACAF. They
yeah,
might fall to third. They might be third now, depending on who you ask. But they just are sending a lot of players to Europe. MLS is improving. I'm not sure if the development is getting better, but at least the league's getting better. If they add pro rel, then the
oh my
US
god,
is cooking. Is
yeah,
going to be cooking at that point, because that's kind of what's screwing the team, is just soft entitled mentality,
yeah,
which will be fixed with probably a cultural shift, but also there being actual consequences for losing games.
yeah,
So, as of time of recording, I still think the future's bright.
yeah.
Is the US going to develop a world-class player finally, or maybe several? I don't think so. And if it does, he'll be a
Mm,
foreign guy. He'll be born in England or
mm,
born in Germany. But if we're talking CONCACAF relatively, yeah. I mean, the US is here to stay. I don't think we're going to see the
yeah,
US fall off and ever become irrelevant. There's too much money in the game. There's too many players now. You
yeah,
look at the youth tournaments, dude, as well. It's like,
yeah.
it's still Mexico or USA winning every single one. Canada started to get better. They're starting to make like semifinals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're still not really winning anything, at least to my knowledge. I don't think they've won anything.
Sounds Canadian. Yeah,
Yeah. 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 So I
yeah. I
think
mean,
US is fine.
even you look at like club youth tournaments, and you know a lot of the tournaments out here they invite teams from other countries who have really good youth setups, like Brazilian teams. You have a lot of English teams coming over here, and they're losing to MLS clubs. That's great. I
Mhm.
mean, like, you know, regardless of whether or not they turn into, you know, star players overseas, it's just a good sign overall. Like you can shit talk USA however you want, but like I think we genuinely are at the lowest point right now, maybe ever for the future. Like,
Ever for the future of the United States?
I think it's like you said, the floor is only going to keep going up. Personally, so like where we're at right now, well, it better be the lowest that the USA is ever at for the future, because you're right, there is too much money in this. There is too much good development and players getting shipped overseas. This better be the lowest point we've ever had. Like,
you don't think? Like, you think this is lower than 2018?
No, I just think like at least this point moving on, this better be the lowest points, if that makes sense. We've had the USA's have way lower points. I mean, 2018 was disrespectfully lower too, like to the average American citizen, whether you care about soccer or not. That was just bad. And right now it's looking bad. But I don't think you can look at even the next 2-3 years at the USA and think that they're not going to turn it around. It's not going to get better. I just, you have to be very naive to do that. And again, if Andres was here today, like I'm sure many other Mexican fans would be sitting here saying Mexico's always going to be better, USA's never going to be good, blah, blah, blah. But no, like you have players overseas that are getting these moves. Malik Tillman being one to Bayer Leverkusen. And that's a good example of what you said. Not American born and raised fully. I mean, he lived here for like 8-9 years of his life, but also with the German roots. Like, that's what you got to get going right there. And that's why I think the USA is going to get better, just because you're seeing more moves like that. If you ignore the Brendan Aronson moves and other Gio Reyna moves, things like that, it's just not looking good. If you look at the real positive ones, it's very positive. Very positive.
Also, come on, not like there's no country on earth that every transfer works out. Like, I don't know why we do this in CONCACAF. It's probably because everybody's just a straight hater. But, when a Mexican player flops or an American flops, it's all over the timeline, probably for years. And it's just like, dude, not every move works out. It's okay. Yeah. Doesn't mean that the national team fell off.
No, absolutely not. And it sucks because we always bring up now, it's become like kind of a meme on the channel, but like Diego Lainez, like he's still being brought up. Yeah, like, not saying it's undeserved. Like, he was really hyped and it really, unfortunate. But like, things like that, like, should he still be being talked about? Probably not. But yeah, it's like CONCACAF mentality. What else are we going to talk about? We're not talking about fucking Leagues Cup. We what else are we going to talk about? All that stuff instead. So,
or nuanced conversation about, the US, for example. It's just much easier to talk about Gio Reyna going to LA Galaxy.
Yeah. Oh God, please don't. I would hate that. I'm an LAFC fan, so dear God, I'd hate that.
I don't know. To be fair, I don't know what the transfer rumor was. I just saw it was MLS. I just picked a random team. I figured it would be LA.
It was LAFC, but like that just got debunked by Tom Bogert literally a couple hours ago. But yeah, like things like that. Like, what else are we gonna think about? Especially because, like, relative to the world, I feel like CONCACAF is still kind of down compared to what they were at one point. So like, what else are we gonna talk about but these failed players and failed transfers? It's just, you're right. It's so easy. And that'll be the next video on our channel. I was literally thinking about this on the drive down to San Diego, was let's do a failed Wonderkid or failed transfer video. So perfect. Look at the prime example of that. That would be fun. That'd be fun. That would
definitely put Diego Lainez in the cover of the video.
Oh my God. Thumbnail's already made, brother. Thumbnail's already made for that one.
You could put Marcelo Flores too, holding up like the Arsenal shirt or something. God.
Yeah. Marcelo Flores, where he was supposed to. I had so much faith in him. I'm not even a Mexican fan. I had so much faith in Marcelo Flores. He should have been what Ruiz, Mora, and Montiel were. But
dude, honestly, I never saw it. That's why I largely bit my tongue. I was like, you guys are hyping this kid up way too much. He's not that good.
Yeah.
They're like, Arsenal. Like, I don't care where he went to, like, is U17 Academy. He's not good. He's not good. Very tiny.
Yeah, very small. And he never had that drive. Like, he went to Tigres, and he's not even doing anything at Tigres. Sounds like, typical Mexican Wonderkid pathway is you end up at Tigres.
Yeah.
Sounds like Diego Lainez.
It's a graveyard. It's like the
really
Cleveland Browns of the quarterback graveyard of the NFL.
Oh, my God. New York Jets quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers right over there. Ugh. At least he had a successful career. All right, Jack. Well, I appreciate you being on the channel. for those who are somehow not subscribed to DeadBall TV, which I know a lot of you are, like I said, make sure to go subscribe to Jack's DeadBall TV. I'll put the link in the description down below. Hopefully, we're seeing more of Jack on here and in the future on DeadBall TV and whatnot. That'd be awesome.
For sure.
If you have an opinion on these teams that we mentioned, let us know in the comments down below. We'll be reading and reacting to as many as we can. Leave a like if you agree that these teams are shit or good or whatever we said. I don't remember. And make sure to subscribe if you guys want more CONCACAF content in the future. Otherwise, that's it from us. We'll see you guys in future videos. Take care.